Hello there, I'm Big Alias. So let me tell you this straight off the bat. It's a good job I don't have a lisp, because I just reviewed 2 Squid Game products and now I'm doing Suicide Squad. God damn. This could have ended badly, but it didn't. Or did it? This is, after all, Suicide Squad Kill the Justice League. I wasn't going to get this game. I was going to wait for it to go onto Game Pass, because let's be frank, it is probably going to go there. But I found the Ultimate Edition for £5 on the store over Christmas, which is reduced down 95%, or maybe 90% or something like that, down from 8. It was a ridiculous price, and I got it for £5. Thought I'd try it, give it a shot. Is it worth £5? I don't even know, to be honest with you. When I saw the reviews, I thought, well, like, how bad can it be? Surely, like, it has some redeeming qualities. It's got to be okay, right? Okay, what do I like? What is good? Well, I remember I watched a Skill Up video, and I think it was Skill Up, and he spoke about how the traversal at times can be fun. Don't agree with that. I don't think so. But I do see it almost is. It kind of almost is. Like, I played as Captain Boomerang throughout the whole thing. I was main one character at every game like this. I played as Captain Boomerang through the whole thing. And he has these boomerangs where, like, one shoots far and one is like a dash thing, and I feel as though, like, it could have been good movement if it wasn't for the fact that the far-reaching dash thing has to recharge. The animations kind of get in the way of, like, tying things together and comboing things for, like, cooler traversal. And I feel as though, like, you could have something on your hands similar to what was that Insomniac game that was exclusive to the Xbox? It was an awesome game. Anyway, whatever, if you can remember what game that was, like, that had a great traversal, something like Spider-Man or something like that. I'm just naming Insomniac games at this point, but something where the traversal feels liberating, and it didn't here, because it just felt as though there were just a few too many micromanagement timing things that you had to wait for. I don't like that. However, I will say there are times when the mix of, like, movement and gameplay do work well here, and it does sometimes feel as though, like, the action is both manageable and incredibly intense. I will disagree. I don't think that the UI is so overbearing that it makes it horrible to look at. I think that's fine. It didn't really get in my way. The combat seemed to, at times, actually flow okay. You know, it was alright at times. That's about as good as the compliments get. And I will also say that I actually didn't follow the story. I already know what happens in the story. I don't watch that shit. I really don't want to. And they didn't compel me enough from the get-go to watch that shit, which is a shame, because I kind of wanted to see the actress who played Amanda Waller's performance, but I'm not going through all of that shit just for, just to watch that. It's not worth it. I'm sorry to the voice performer for that, but yeah, I mean, to the uninitiated, this is a Suicide Squad game that bizarrely decided to be a live service game with a battle pass. And I thought, like, it's 2024, right? Surely there's got to be more effort put into making this less of a checkbox game and more of a, like, giving you reasons for what you're doing, for the missions you're pursuing. We have live service games like Diablo 4 and stuff like that, where, yeah, they could have been checklist games, but they found clever ways around it. They really didn't do that here. In fact, it really kind of blows me away how little effort seems to be put into the level structure here. It's kind of frustrating. I really can't wrap my head around how little effort has been put into structuring any sort of levels with any semblance of, like, not complexity, but anything. I mean, I'm not kidding. There are times this reminded me of DC Universe Online, the MMO, that came out, I think it was in 2010, and was an MMO for consoles. And it's one of those ones where it's like, oh, go over there and beat up 10 bad guys. It's exactly the same here. And the craziest part about it is it doesn't change. I was about 3/4 of the way into the game, and I was, like, escorting a bus like it was Overwatch. Like, beating 7 enemies here, or, like, 6 over here, you know? I mean, when it came to the boss battles, spoiler alert, The Superman battle is identical to the Brainiac battle. The last two battles are literally identical. I couldn't believe how much repetition, how much similarity, and how little structure and complexity was in this game. When you get to the last 20 minutes, you have to take out these two, you have to go to these two areas, and you think, okay, that's something a bit different. You're given a time limit, which I never like, but something a bit different, and then you go there and you're just doing exactly the same thing you were doing anyway, just in a different place with a time limit. It's blowing up generators, but shoot the purple thing. Tanks will roll up on you and they'll have these purple circles for you to shoot. I know that this game was surface deep when I was using a shotgun to shoot giant demon Batman, and I was doing thousands of damage from a mile away. It's just nonsensical. And like I said, completely surface deep. There's no depth to this game whatsoever. Nothing happening, and nothing to grab your attention. Even the loot, I don't like the fact that this is a looter shooter, but god damn it, if you're gonna do it, give me loot that I want. Every time I got something, it had so many red marks, so many red triangles that I wasn't upgrading. And the craziest part is it keeps trying to incentivize you to upgrade. It keeps saying oh, you're not high enough level for that, you may want to level yourself up. No, whenever I do missions, I come away with a shotgun that I just don't want to use. Mine's good enough. You keep giving me shit. Even when I beat the final mission, you gave me two weapons, neither of which I equipped, because they were awful. Why would I use them? And that was the final mission. That was the final mission of the game. It's just absolutely outrageous. And yeah, it's just the ultimate checklist experience. It's just a matter of go over here, shoot 7 dudes, beat 6 guys, defend a truck, take out some generators. That's it. That is the game in a nutshell. And it's as deep as that. That's it. And I'm running out of things to say because there is so little to say. Leveling, didn't really care for it. You have a skill tree, didn't really care for that. Like I said, the only parts that are even vaguely enjoyable are when the action really revs up and you're managing your traversal and your weaponry. The game doesn't look great, but some of the colours are okay. It's nice to see a colourful game, honestly, in the DC universe, but at the same time, Arkham Knight looked better than this, so I don't know what that's all about. The fact that you can play as multiple characters is fairly cool, but why would you? This is a tremendously short game and not one that forces you to experiment in any way. Most of the things that each character can do, the other characters can do anyway. They have cool traversal methods, but they do the same thing, so that doesn't really matter. I don't get it. I'm baffled. I'm genuinely baffled as to how A, it took so long to make such a surface level game, and B, how it was pushed through the door with such a lack of depth. This really feels like a late 2000s MMO, and even back then MMOs were criticised for being so surface deep, and that's what this feels like. So I'm going to give it a score. And I honestly think, given how much I've been complaining about the game, I may be slightly generous in that score, because there were times when it was fairly fun, but it's just short, weak, surface deep bars. Short, weak, surface deep, and I would not recommend it.
PlayStation's only $149, and you can also get leading titles.